this guy is going to be a perfect example of why it is that you as a dater need to start having a better understanding of how women communicate, where they're coming from, and why it is that they talk and or act in the way that they do. So this guy, I'm gonna set up the video for you. This is his wife, and he is very confused by a recent interaction she had on the phone with one of her female friends. So let's go ahead and check this out.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna give you guys just a quick sample of the difference between men and women, my wife and myself. As we're driving here, my wife had to make 2 stops. She had to stop at the post office and she had to stop at the gas station. Now she's on the phone with her friend Shelly. This is how I would have done it if my friend was following me. Hey, I got to stop at the post office and I got to stop at the gas station. That would have been how I would have said it.
So I'm going to pause here. So notice how he would have said it would have been very factual. Hey guy, I'm about to get gas, about to go to the post office. Talk to you later. Boom. And in guy world, that works because we're just all about the information. We don't take it personally. Hey, you can't talk to me now. Talk to me later on. I got you. I'll contact you soon. Very simple, right? So let's see what happened with his wife.
What my wife said was, hey, I have to stop at the post office because I have to mail out such and such item, yada, yada, yada. And then when I'm done with that, I got to stop at the gas station because I only have 13 miles left in my car, 8 miles. I only have 8 miles left in my car, and I need to stop and get gas. You see?
Your point?
The point is, you don't need all the extra.
You know what?
You don't know, you don't.
There are sometimes you will send a text or say something to somebody, and it's so short, and it comes across so douchey, and I'm just like, can you elaborate a little bit more?
Now, isn't that interesting that she says that the way he's communicating to her, it sounds very douchey. And to him, her mode of communication is like, why are you adding all these extra things that aren't necessary? We'll get into that in a minute.
Answering a question?
What?
Just answering a question?
Just things in general.
Listen, short and sweet. That's what people want. They want short and sweet. Shelly doesn't
Not
care.
everybody.
Shelly doesn't care why you're going to the post office, and she doesn't care why you have to stop and get gas.
Now, what's interesting is, on some level, they're both right. Like, he's saying people want it short and sweet, but what she's saying is some people don't. And those are technically both true because men typically want things short and sweet. For women, that kind of communication, like she said, can seem very douchey and very uncaring. We'll get to more of that in a minute.
Generally, people have to stop at the post office to mail something and stop at a gas station to get gas.
Okay.
They don't need all the details.
Love you.
Love you too.
Goodbye.
Learn how to speak better. Oh.
Okay, that last part was necessary. I don't condone any person hitting anybody in a relationship. So that was bad, all right? But what was it that bugged him so much about her communication style? It was that she was adding too many details, right? And he couldn't understand. Keep in mind, this guy's an old guy, right? And he could not understand why it is that she would feel the need to add so much detail, right? But what was her response to the way that he sends out things is that he sounds douchey. And that there should tell you everything you need to know about why it is that she subsequently adds on all these extra details when she's telling her friend about what she's doing with her errands. Because she, in female dynamics, you cannot come across as douchey. And when you do short communication in women's world, if she just said to her friend, I'm going to the post office and then I'm going to the gas station, what that would indicate to the friend is that they must have some kind of beef going on, or she must be frustrated with her for some reason, because why wouldn't she want to spend a little bit of time and talk to her? Now, again, she's just running simple errands, and guys oftentimes don't understand this, but it's like, she doesn't want to come across as like, I'm just trying to rush you off the phone because I got stuff to do. She wants to show her friend that she genuinely cares for her, even though she's busy at the moment. So she's going to say, hey, I'm going to the post office right now. I have to mail out this, blah, blah, because girls want those details. And her sharing details with her friends about the errand she's running and what she's going to be doing during those errands, she knows the other woman on the other side legitimately wants to know those details, because it's going to indicate that I'm sharing a part of my life with you and we're close. So I feel like I'm cool enough to do that. And she knows that the other woman on the other end actually wants to hear that stuff. And this is where miscommunication happens between men and women, because I know I'm guilty of this, where like a woman will ask me, hey, so how was your day today? And I'll be like, oh, it's fine. Went to work, came home. And I'm thinking, they just want to know the bare bones of like, what were the mechanical functions of my day. So I went to a place, I did the same stuff I always do, and then I come home. And to me, none of that seems very fascinating. So unless something like major happened, like, oh, my office exploded or somebody caught on fire, then to me, there's not a lot to actually talk about. But because women bond a lot of times through communicating and having those extra details, then to your woman, it can feel like you're slighting her and that you're not trying to build a bond with her because you're not giving away the details of the story that would make it interesting. You would make it interesting to her if you cared about her, is what she is thinking, all right? So that just shows a very good, interesting difference between how men and women view communication. That guy's frustrated because his wife can't just get to the point, and he's not understanding that in the world of woman, she can't just get to the point without coming across in a negative light. So she has to add minute, seemingly uninteresting details to us that will actually prove to be interesting to her female counterparts. So that way that bond can still stay intact. And then she can say at the end of all that, so yeah, I'll definitely catch up with you later. And it's funny because, you know, I have women friends, I have women that I've dated, I have female family members who will talk to their female friends and will feel slighted if the conversation only lasted an hour. I have friends that I have been connected to for years, since like my college days, since my elementary school days. If we make it to like 30 minutes, that's a long conversation. So you can't project how you view communication and how you view how things should operate logically in male guy world, and then assume that women are crazy for doing it differently when in their world, that is completely the norm.
You's a bad boy, but you can't stop, won't stop. You a high earning, high value, high class man. You a high earning, high value, high class man. You a high earning, high value, high class man. You a high class man. You a high class man. You a high earning, high value, high class